Hey, going live on the stream today once again. Give me one moment to get my music set up. I think we're going to go back to some chiptunes today. This one. Okay, let's see. I got to get my screen shared. That's where we are. I need to pull up my project. And get my local development server running so that when we pull this up, we'll go to localhost 8000 or localhost 3000. There we are. And we've got the Pokemon battle scene builder that we are working on. What is going on, Kotin? Happy to have you here. Happy Friday to you too. How's your week? Anything notable going on? How's the weather down south? I am not sure. One more time. I am not sure where this stream is going to go today. So let's figure out where we left off last time. Was we basically built all of the configuration for the opponent stuff, like the health bar and some of the logic, so the health bar changes color. We did, let's see, we added this little dialogue down here for the trainer. And some other things we want to do. Well, one thing I really want to do is fix all of these locations. So this like sand that's missing, I want to fix this. So let me just knock that out really quick. It should be in here somewhere. Yeah, we've got sand. Let's go up to edit.photo. Served us well so far. And that's not what I want. What do I want? I want to show that. Then I want to go to my thing. I want to drag that over. And then zoom in. I need to grab, let's see. We don't have a background for sand because there is not a background for sand. So I think what we might do is just copy these day, afternoon, and night from the mountain, which should be easy enough. We can do that just right in our code base here. We do background cave. We want to look for mountain. We want to copy all of these and paste them, and then we're going to rename them to sand sand. And where's my other copy? Here we go. Sand. So that should have fixed that. If I go to the sand, we have sand, which is great. If I go back to grass, we've got grass. And I can go to water and mountain. Mountain looks the same as sand. I think some of this might change, though. Field. Okay, I think what I want to do is copy. For the mountain, we want to copy this field UI stuff. So we don't have field, do we? I need to look through all these photos. No, we don't want background. We want The foreground grass, that's definitely not grass. Okay. That's definitely cave. That's definitely grass. Day and grass night, grass afternoon, cool. Mountain, mountain. So we're just missing the mountain day. So we're going to come here. This is the one that we're using for the mountain. And we can crop this thing out. Single pixels of difference. Okay. Let's export that. Let's download that. It's going to pull up something over here. And I'm going to call that, what is that? Midground Mountain Day. And I should be able to like just drag that over here, I think. Yep, Midground Mountain Day, perfect. Which means if we go back to our app now, and we reload, we can see that we've got, let's see, grass, sand, water, mountain is now working. We don't have forest or cave during the day or afternoon. So forest and cave. Oh no, I lost my image. That's sad. That's okay. We'll get that back. Do we have something for forest? This is like, I guess the grass can work the same for the forest. That works for me. Let's go mid-ground grass. Copy all of these, paste those, rename these. Forest. Forest. And my other copy. Okay. So yeah, doing a little bit of stuff here that, haha, that's so cool. That's so cool. So doing a bit of stuff here that's highlighting one issue that I have with this application is that is when I reload these things, it would be really nice if I could like reload it and have these things pre-selected. So how are we going to do that? I think that's the challenge for today. Which means in order to be able to reload this page and have that data persist, there's a couple different options that we have. We basically need client sides. Well, yes, because this is a client rendered application, we need to rely on client side storage. If this was server rendered, we could do something on the server as well, but we don't need a server right now. It's all client side. So the client side storage options that we have available are local storage, session storage, cookies, or the URL itself. And I'm going to go with the URL because that also makes it easy to share. If I go with local storage or session storage, I can't share those across different devices. I can't share those with my Aunt Juliet because she loves Pokemon and I want to show her this cool thing, right? But I don't want her to load the page and always be on grass day, right? So let's say that we want to set the location and the time of day based on the URL. I'm going to stop sharing my screen really quick. Hold on one second. Got a message from the team. Okay, back to the code. Sorry for that little interruption. Okay, so what have we got here? We wanted to work with the query. Uh-oh, fires to put out. Yeah. Yeah, it'll be all right. I'm not an important enough person on my team to have many fires. Okay, so what we want to do is work with the query, right? So what we can do is, I think Vue has watchers. Vue.js.org, and we should be able to look for a watcher or the no, that's not what I want. I want the composition API watch. It could be watch effect, but I think I just want watch. So watch one or more reactive data sources and invoke a callback function when these sources change. So that's what I want. We're going to go to our app. We're going to import that. And what we're going to do is actually watch. I mean, I'm just going to put this way down at the bottom because this is not super important to keep co-located with anything else. It's going to be kind of its own thing. So we are going to watch, and I think I want to watch just data should be fine. And then that should have a callback function. Let's see if you can move this up. We're going to use callback function, and I'm going to console log the arguments. So I'm using the function keyword here because I want to have access to this arguments keyword. And if we use an arrow function, we don't get that. So let's go here. Let's open up the console. Let's reload our app just to be clear. That is something I'm going to need to look at. Type concept property. Yeah, whatever. So I want to change my location from grass to sand. And perfect. We did get something that I was looking for. So what we get is 3 different values. We have a proxy, which is the data object that we're looking at. And this one has the target has, let's see, location here is sand. And then we get a second object with another target, and that location is also sand, which is not what I wanted. Because I believe how this works is it gives you the first 2 values are the new value and then the previous value. And I'm actually doing this wrong because it looks like the first parameter should be not the value itself, but a function that returns the value. So let's do this. Instead of passing in data, we're going to do a function that returns data. So let's reload. I think I was close there, but not quite. So now location here, we change that to sand, and we don't get anything. Okay. Watching a ref, watch an array. Using a URL as local storage, doable in Vanilla.js 2. Using URL as local storage. So for passing data between 2 users, you can use the URL and you don't need local storage. I'm not really sure what the question is, but I know you can use both URLs and local storage. And let's say we make a change in our application, we can sync that change to local storage and at the same time sync that change to the URL. But then we have kind of the same data in 2 different places, which is redundant, and maybe there could be reasons why, but we don't need to do that. What I'm going to do is when I make a change to my data, I'm going to grab that data and throw it into the URL. And then when the application loads, I'm going to grab any information from the URL to pre-populate my data. And that way, if I share that URL with someone else, when the app loads on their instance, it will pull that data from the URL and pre-populate it. So that's the idea. That's the plan on what we're going to get to today. And so I do have, okay. So the issue here is I'm passing an object and we're not watching that deep. Well, we need to tell Vue that this needs to be a deep watcher if we want to watch the different keys or properties on an object. So instead of watching the object itself for changes, because the object does not change, we're looking at changes in different properties. That is one approach. So I could say, hey, hey Vue, let's see. Let's break this up into different layers so we can actually see it a little bit easier what's going on. Okay, so here we have our watcher, right? We're saying, hey Vue, I want you to watch for some changes. I want you to watch this. Check this out. And the first thing we're going to do is pass a function that returns the data object. Now that is an object, which means if properties change on it, the object itself doesn't change. Only the properties on it change. But as far as JavaScript is concerned, it's still the same object. Second parameter is a function that says when something does change. So if we were to replace this object completely, then this watcher would run and it would get a couple of different arguments. Let's see. It would get the new value and the old value. So the new value being if we replace the data object, we're going to, in this function, we're going to get new val and old val, right? New value is going to be whatever we replace it with. Old value is going to be whatever it was before we replaced it. And then the last thing here is configuration. So if we are working with an object, it would make sense to set deep to true, which that may be the right approach. The alternative would be to say, hey, instead of watching an entire object, I could say, I just want to watch the deep dot or the data dot location. Right? So now what we'll see here is instead of logging the arguments, we'll log the new val and the old val. And now we'll see as I change that location, we should see some stuff in the console here. So let's change location to sand, and we get sand and grass. Sand being the new value, grass being the old one. Cool. That's working as expected now. Alternatively, I could go back to leaving this as an object and set this deep watcher to true. And then if we change from grass to sand, we see that the new value is this proxy with the new value location being sand. And the old value is this proxy with the, yeah, see, it's still kind of doing this funky thing that is not what I expect. So just for the sake of this working as I expect, let's just do it this way. We're going to watch the location. We are also going to watch for changes in, what do I want? Location and time of day. Location and time of day. I think those are the only two that I really care to watch. And so now we have this issue where we need to tell Vue that we want to watch more than one thing. To do that, instead of passing a function, we can pass an array. I get the feeling that we maybe don't need this to be a function, that we can just say data.location and data.time of day. I'm hoping this will work. And then this same function will run the same callback function will run for if either of these values change. So let's see what we've got here. I'm going to change location. I'm going to change time of day. Did not work. Foreground sand afternoon. Okay, that's fine. Did not work. Okay, so I guess that these do have to be callback functions. Oops. That's fine. That's fine. I don't mind being wrong. Okay, so now we have an array with callback functions that should get the data that we want. We clear this out. We change the location to sand, and we get sand day, and we get grass day. Yeah, that makes sense. Sand day, grass day. Okay, that actually doesn't work as I had expected, but it works just fine. Where the array, the new value and the old value correspond to whatever values we're grabbing in these arrays. So, sorry. Let me say that one more time. We're now telling Vue to watch an array of values. And what we get in our callback function is the first parameter is an array that returns the new value. The second parameter is the new value for the second item that we're watching. This is hard to explain. Okay, this time it should work times 20. Yes, no, this time it definitely works. Regardless, the point being that we don't really care about the old values, so I'm actually going to ignore that. And this no longer has to be a keyword, a function keyword. So I'm just going to switch it to an arrow function. Why? I don't really know. It doesn't make a difference in this case. So now with the new value, keep in mind that this is an array of whatever is returned by the functions in this array. So we don't have to call it new value. We can actually destructure it right here in line and say that we know that the first item is going to be the new location, and we know that the second item in the array is the new time of day, right? Then what I can do is say create a new, basically I need to create a query string parameter to update the current location with. So this might take some thinking. We'll do it the naive way first, and we'll just say const query params equals new URL search params. We're going to construct that with the location being the new location, time of day being the new time of day. And then eventually we need to, what do we need to do? We need to update the current URL. So how do we do that? Window.location. We have window.location, window.history, history dot. So no, what do I want? Window.history or window.location? I need to update the current query, the current URL. I think history is what I want. And I think what I can do is replace state or push state. And push state will move it, basically treat it like a page navigation. Replace state will basically replace it in line. I think I want replace state. It looks like it's already figured everything out for me. So let's just see what this does. Okay, let's see what this does. So if I change the location or the time of day, I should see the URL update. We'll change the location to sand, and we see location now equals sand and time of day equals day. If I change this to afternoon, we see that time of day goes to afternoon. Perfect. It's working. It's updating our location as expected. Now, if I go back Okay, so this is the important consideration to keep in mind when you're messing with query string parameters or whatever. Is I chose to use this method called replace state, which means if I change this as many times as I want, we can see that the query updates with every change, right? And we can change the next one. And I've made like 10 or 15 different changes already. So now the important thing to keep in mind is how the browser is going to treat those changes. Should a user be able to click the back button and go back to, like if I change from sand to mountain, if I hit the back button, should that take me back to the sand layout? Or should that take me back to the previous website I was on, which is currently how it works? If we use replace state, it's going to replace the current. Let's see. Can I see this? We can see we can see the tab history, right? If I don't know. Here we'll do this. We'll go to the Vue.js website, and then we'll go back to localhost 88,000, which is nothing, and then we'll go to localhost 3,000. So we're building up a bit of a tab history here, right? By using push state, I would be appending a new entry into the browser's history. By using replace state, I'm replacing the current entry in the browser history with whatever I want to update it to. This is an important consideration for user experience because in this case, for example, if I go from grass to sand, I want to replace the existing one so that if I hit the back button, I actually go back to the Vue docs. And if I hit the forward button, I go to whatever the most recent instance was of my application. If we use push state, let's just see what that looks like. Push state, and we'll hit save, and we'll see that's my current browser history. If I change from location grass to water, we can see that we're on this Vite app, right? That was the previous history node. If I change from day to night, we get another change here, and we get another entry into our history. So this is, there is no right or wrong way to do this. Now, if I go back, we can see that the URL changes. If I go forward, the URL changes back and forward. Currently, we don't have the logic in place for our app to watch for changes in the URL and like reflect them accordingly. So we're not going to see those changes, but it's really important to keep in mind what that user experience should look like, which is going to be another hot tip for me to share on the YouTube channel because that is a good one. But yeah, I think in this application, replace state makes way more sense, and it's working as intended. Now, the only thing that's missing is we have the location here, and we have the time of day. And we're saying location is water, time of day is night. We can see that's not reflected in our app. So all we need to do is, let me see. All we need to do is when our app loads and sets these initial values here, we can, let's see. We can say const query params equals, what do I want? How do I get the window history? Oh, that's not what I want. I want window.location.query. No, window.history. Okay. JS get current URL query. It's got to be in here somewhere. Just give me a hint. URL window location.search. Okay, that's what I want. Oh, that's cool. They're using a little proxy. Interesting. That's the part that I want. So if I say window.location location.search, we're going to get this search string, the query string parameters with a little question mark. If we pass that into this URL search params object, well, that's actually not super helpful to look at in the console, but we can start playing with that. So we can say something like that.get location as a string. Location. And that is how we can actually get the values that are in the URL. So let's see here. What I'm going to do is say boop, 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 boop. Yeah, const query params, or let's just call this like current query. And that'll run when the app loads. So we can say, hey, I want the location to be the current query.get location. And if that comes back as an undefined value, we can fall back to grass. And we can do the same for the time of day, or we'll default to day. So there you go. If I reload, we're always going to be in the water at night until I change that to day, and then I can reload. And now every time we load, we're in the water at day. And we can change the location to sand and mountain, or let's go to the forest and reload. That is pretty freaking cool, if you ask me. Just one of those like handy little user experience improvements that we can provide as developers. Because the cool thing now here, the reason why the URL is so special, particularly, is because I can take this, I can copy that, I can give that to someone else on a different device, in a different browser, in a different part of the world, and they can load it and they will see, I mean, they're going to see a different Pokemon, but they will see the right location and time of day. The Pokemon thing or the opponent thing is going to be a little bit tricky because because we're like randomly generating one, and if I were to upload a file here, right? If I upload a file, now there's no way that someone else can load this same scene because someone else is not, like, I can't share a file through a URL. So that's a little bit of a tricky consideration, but I think this is fine. Just having the location and the time of day, being able to reload that's a pretty handy feature. We could do that with some of the other settings, but I think, you know, for this project, that was a good example of implementing that. And now hopefully it adds another tool to your arsenal. Okay, so what is the next thing we want to work on today? I'm thinking we probably want to add another UI feature for like this thing to be down here so it can affect us. You know what else we're really missing though? Is all of the UI for my side of the little platform. Like, we got it there. We basically only have it in like one spot. I should probably fix that. I know an easy way to fix that too is we can just copy this same image and put it here, but like sort of fade it out. So let's see. Let's try that. This is also going to be the midground, so we end up with the same picture. So now we can see that both pictures are in the same spot. And then we'll do a little bit of a modification with the foreground. We're going to say transform. Did I spell that right? Scale. And we're going to scale this like by 2. From. There we go. Transform. Okay. So now that is twice as big. Let's even go like 2.5. I want that to be chonky. There we go. And then the other thing we can do, it's actually kind of in a good spot already. I just want to give this preview. Let's see, where's my preview? I've got this thing. And I'm going to say overflow hidden. Give that a special class that we have not yet defined. Will come, where would that go? Probably like right here. Overflow hidden. Okay. Go back to our app. We can see it's now kind of in the right spot. We just need to move it a little bit. So it's currently absolute positioned all the way at the bottom. We can go down even further. Or no, let's keep it at the bottom. And then let's just like do a scale transform and then also a translate Y 50%. No, 40%, 30%, 20%, 25%. Cool. That looks good to me. We'll replace that. Nope. Okay. I think that should work to get all of our sort of UI pieces in place. If I go to grass, we have the front end, or we have the foreground there, platform. If I go day, afternoon, night, go sand, water, mountain, forest, cave. So cool. That's working. Now, the last piece of the puzzle is this little guy here. I think that I want this to be able to switch between a text and a status. So what we need to do here is go to our app, and I need another little section in my trainer field set. So in the trainer field set, because we want to say that this can either be a text input or a status, I'm going to have that be like the first thing that a user needs to decide. And we're going to stick with our trusty V input. But what do I want this to be? It basically is going to toggle between two states, status and text. So to toggle between two states, I have a few different options to choose from. I could use a select, I could use a radio, I could use a checkbox. I could use a checkbox that kind of looks like a little notch. I think in this case, it makes sense to use a radio because like there's always going to be one off. It's not toggling between on and off. It's like one or the other. So that makes sense to me. This is not the trainer name. This is the trainer UI. The trainer UI, sure. And then we'll see. We're going to call this box type. Maybe I'll call this trainer box. I don't know. That's not this. This is a tough one to name. But we're going to say that the trainer box here is going to be a type of, and I want this to be a type of radio. Now, this can be one of two options. So the options, we don't need displayed boxes because I can just do those. I'm not calculating that data from anywhere. So I'm going to say the two options are going to be objects that can either be, one is going to have a label of text with a value of text, and the other one is going to be a label of, what is it, status, with a value of status. I kind of want the status one to go first because that will actually impact how they look when they're rendered. So it'll say status first, status, and then it'll say text. So let's see. We've got the trainer box here. We've got to set that up here somewhere in my data. Here we go. Trainer has a trainer box, which is going to be a string and can have either, let's see, this is going to be a type of, in TypeScript, this is going to be one of two different values. So it's going to be a union. It's going to be a string that can either be, what was it, status or what was it, status or text, right? And we're going to start this off as status. Cool. So let's look at this. I've got my input here. It is a text input. I've got a little bit of a styling issue where, let's see, we've got the label and the label. So this itself is its own field set, which I think makes sense. I think you can have, I wonder if you can have nested field sets. I'm not so sure about that. But we want this to be, let's see. Yep, the box type is either going to be the status box or the text box. And I just need to do a little bit of styling here. So how am I going to style this? Boop, 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 boop. All right, so I think what I'm going to do is I've got the input. I need to style this input, give it a little bit of margin right. Very interesting. Okay. So let's see. I need to give this a little bit of margin right. And then I need to give the text or the actual input itself, this label, some more margin. Or I'm gonna stack these. So I'm going to tell this that these should be display block so that they sit one on top of the other. And then I'll give the input itself a little bit of margin on the right. Okay, so let's grab this Vite.js input radio class. We're going to go to our app. We're going to go down, 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 where I have some styles. I'm going to say this, the label needs to be display block. Cool. And then same thing, the input needs to be, what is it? Margin inline end. That'll put some margin at the end of it. And we're going to say like 0.5 rem. Hopefully if I got that right, it should look a little bit better. Hey, there we go. Not sure. I think I have a little bit of an issue with utensils here because I am inheriting classes on both the root element here as well as every individual input. That I may want to fix. And I know why that's happening, but I may need to fix that. I imagine that's also happening. Is that not happening here? It's not happening here. Interesting. Well, I will have to look into that. But so far, this is looking good. We've got a status. We've got a text that we can change. Somehow this label is not properly set up for Vite.js ADLI input 1. Oh, shoot, the ID is not matched up. Okay, that is another bug that I need to fix. Easy enough. But anyway, we should be able to select both of these. And if I go back and do a V model, I can bind the data for the trainer box. Hopefully, as this changes, I'm going to throw that in right here. So we should be able to see the data trainer box and see which one that is. So currently it's set to status. If I change it to text, we don't get the change. Awesome. Another broken bug in the library that I created. That's great. All right, so let's see what we can do about this. If we tap into the change event, can we log what's going on and see if we have access to that actual value? Okay, we changed from status to text. We do get the event, so that's good. We get the event target, and we get the event target value. So we can still make this work. We got to do this the hard way. And we'll say, instead of vModel, we're going to say bind to the value. And we're going to say that on change, data dot trainer box equals event target value. That should kind of sync together our data flow. It doesn't quite. Well, okay, so now we still have something kind of broken. No. Do we have something broken? Doesn't look like we do. Okay, we're good. We're good. Cool. So the data is bound to status. If we change it to text, we can see that the data changes to text. Still a little bit broken because my labels aren't properly connected to my inputs, but I will fix that. I will publish a bug fix and we'll get on with our lives. Okay, what is the next thing I need to do here? I need to actually do something with this data. So now that we have this trainer box information, and that trainer box information should be passed down to our app preview by means of this vbind data. We should have access to it in our app preview. So in our app preview, all we have to do is tell our component to expect that. So we're going to say, what do I want? What was it? Trainer box. Trainer box is a string, defaults to status. Sure, why not? I wonder if I wanted to say that this had to be one of two different values. If I say that this is of type status or text, no, that's not going to work. I think I need to import something. Ugh. All right. Should I show how to do this? Yes, maybe. Let's see. At type is going to be, and we're going to import from Vue the type definition. It never works well in Vue files. I can do this in a JavaScript file. So let's see. We go at type import from Vue, and the type is not coming up. That's great. Is like a prop. No, prop. Object component props options. It might be that. Yeah, what's up, man? You coming to watch the stream?
Yeah.
Cool. You want to step into it? This is my camera feed. You can see. Hey, there's Phil.
What's up, guys?
This is the guy that got me into programming in the first place. So, really,
I can't take too
swell
much
dude.
credit.
Well, I mean, you got me into it. So, yeah, we are working on this. Oh, he said, "Hey, Phil." See that?
Hey, Code then H.
So yeah, we're working on this Pokemon thing. And what was I doing just now? Oh yeah, I want to define. It's going to be complicated if I try to explain what we're doing.
No. Carry on.
All right, we're using TypeScript to get a type definition for our prop types here, which I've done before, but I can't remember. Does Phil do web dev too?
A bit.
Yeah, bit of web dev.
Haven't used Vue.
No, you do more. You do some React stuff, right?
In the past, yeah.
Yeah. So let's see. Prop options. All right, let's try this. So if we use that and pass it here, we should see, nope, red squigglies still complaining. Okay. Maybe it's not prop options. It's prop object prop options, maybe. Okay, so that's maybe a little bit better. So default string is not assignable to type that. Property default is incompatible with index signature. Let me see. I'm going to see if I can find this in an old project. No, you know what? We're going to skip this. I will figure this out and come back to it. But in the meantime, we're defining our prop here for the trainer box. And you like my music?
This is great.
It's chiptunes. This one's a little bit more. This is like chiptunes in the club.
Keep the vibe going.
Yeah. It's at least interesting when I will otherwise be boring. Okay, so what we're doing here is we're receiving this trainer box prop. And if we just put it onto our screen, we'll see that it should be either status or text somewhere around. Oh, not here. We're going to see it above the dialog, but it's behind because it's not absolute position. It's behind this div. So there it is, status. And if we change that to text, we can see that that changed to text. So what we can do with this is say, we're going to have two different UI elements here. One is the dialog and one is, what is it? A status with status trainer. Status trainer. And we're going to say, here we go. Be if the trainer box equals status, will show this status box. Otherwise, with a v else, will show the dialog. So if we go to our UI and reload, we can see that our status bar is up here now. And if we change that to text, we can see that it's down here. So now we just need to actually build this status bar. The other thing that I want to do is where we have our dialog down here. We're going to share the styles between the dialog component and the status trainer, such so that this way both of them will always be in the bottom right. If we reload, we can see there it is in the bottom right. So now we need to kind of copy this same code that we have here for this status bar, where where is our first status bar? Here. We're going to copy the contents of this. I don't think we're using this anymore, are we? I don't think so. We're going to put that inside of this status bar. And for now, we'll just get rid of that and we'll have it look kind of the same as the opponent. So now we see jump left down here. Obviously, we need to kind of recreate a little bit of this, but pointing the other direction towards us. So where are we going to start with this? How about this padding? What is this padding coming from? Status opponent. Okay, easy enough. Padding of 8. Do abs position, width of that, padding 8. Okay. That's in the right spot. It's got the right data. We need to change the actual opponent name to the trainer name, which we don't currently have. So we have the trainer text. We don't have the trainer name. I guess we need to do that as well. Okay, so we have for our trainer, we have the trainer box, we have the trainer text. We need another UI for the trainer name. Going to map that to this trainer name. Data.trainer name. This should not be a text area. Label should be name. We don't want to trigger that. We need to go back up to our data properties and add the, let's see, the status. Right under there, we'll have the trainer name, which is an empty string to begin with. And having fun watching?
Yeah.
You should get on Twitch, so at least then my analytics goes up. Okay. We have a question for you. Let's see. Are there many Phil's Coffee in Portland? I mean, that's I don't know.
I live in the Bay Area.
This is easy enough to answer, but let's see. Phil's. Is it? Oh, it is Phil's Coffee with a Z. There are this many. There's not this many Phil's Coffee in Portland. There are. It looks like no Phil's Coffee. That can't be right.
Ooh. Not as hip as we thought.
No, there is this place though. If you ever want Vietnamese coffee, this place is good. Yeah. Shout out to that place. They also do really good banh mi. Okay.
The sweet cream in there.
Yeah. They even do like with the fancy like thing that drips it. Yeah. Man, I love Vietnamese coffee.
Send me your stream.
Your stream? My stream?
Yeah.
It's Hey Austin Gill. Yeah, Cotin is Vietnamese.
Oh, nice.
So we'll have much judgment when I make it out. Yeah, you should come out and we should definitely get some Vietnamese coffee. You can tell me if it's any good and I can try to convince you that it actually is pretty good. Although I haven't found any coffee here that is as good as the coffee in Vietnam. But I'm not a coffee drinker, so I'm not the best judge. I just like them because they put that like sweet milk in it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking
that's-
about?
yeah,
And that just makes it like sugary and delicious.
Wait, what's his stream name?
Hey, Austin Gill.
Okay. Found it.
Yeah. All right. So what do we got to do next? Are you actually gonna? Oh, yeah, he's gone. All right. So let's see here. We have a couple things we also need to change. Right now, we have the health bars tied to both of them. We obviously want to make that just for the trainer. So we have a couple things we need to do here. So we have some interesting. Well, let me finish what I was doing. We have the trainer name, which I think is coming in here now. So I changed that. That's not being reflected anywhere in the UI. So what we need to do is go to our app preview. We've got the trainer box. We need the trainer name also. Here is the name. That's going to be default to an empty string. And then the trainer name is going to come down here. And instead of showing the opponent name, we're going to show the trainer name to uppercase. So I totally just broke the application. No, I didn't. There we go. We have no name to begin with. We can come down here and set it to Nugget. And then we can see that it is there. Awesome. Working as expected. And so now we have an interesting UI here because not only do we change the UI of the like whatever app that we're building, we also are getting some unnecessary data here on these in this form, right? Because we have this text that doesn't actually do anything unless we change it to a text box. So what I might do is go back to my app and say, if this trainer box is set to status versus text, we can show a different form. Hey, Phil Bardino, long time no see. Yo, he's on the stream. What's up, my dude? This is kind of awkward now because you're just like right in the next room. You can probably hear me talking. You can probably hear me saying stuff before you even hear it on the stream, but that's all right. Make sure to like, subscribe, smash all the things, and yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's a delay. Get this man partnered. Yeah, partner me up. All right, so let's see. What was I doing? Yeah, so basically this form has like irrelevant inputs depending on what we want to show in the UI. So we can fix that quite easily by saying Vue has this template tag called template that basically doesn't render anything at all, but we can use it for conditional rendering. So we can say v-if and v-if the what is it, data trainer box equals status. Then under this condition, we can show whatever is relevant to the status input. And otherwise, we can throw in another template and we can say the else, which is a view directive. And if we're not on the status, then we can assume that we are on the text, which means we can show the inputs that are relevant to the text. So now we can see the box type is status. If we change it to text, we can see that the text is a wild electrode appeared. And if we change it back to status, we can change our name to Phil Bardino. We can see that Phil Bardino has full health. Let's change that. Because now we kind of need to do something similar with similar to the opponent health. We want to do the trainer health. So we've got the trainer name. We're going to put another range input, or yeah, range input. We're going to change that from the opponent health to, nope, health was good, to the trainer health. And then this is missing on our reactive data. So we can go to our reactive data. We've got, let's see, the trainer name. We've got the trainer health, which defaults to 100. We go back to our app preview. That data is being automatically passed into this component, but this component doesn't know that that data exists yet. So we just have to define that. Best followers, primes, viewers, and Mr. Store. Remove the space. Thank you. Thank you, Farron21. That's how you know when you're getting big. Okay, so the opponent health, we've got the trainer name, the trainer health by changing that to trainer. And if we're lucky, everything should work. We've got our opponent, we've got the trainer health bar, which we can change to about 50%. Doesn't work because, of course, it never works the first time. What's going on there? Let's see. In my app, I've got trainer health. I've got trainer health down here, which is okay. Let's see if we're actually putting that out somewhere. Data.trainer health. I expect that to be 100 or 37. Okay, so that's 37. Oh, I know what's going on here. We provided that to our preview component as a prop, but we aren't actually using it. So we need to grab that trainer health, and we need to go down and pass it in. Let's see, we've got the opponent health, and then the health bar color. That is right. But now we're dealing with opponent health bar color versus trainer health bar color. That's fine. Okay. This is kind of weird because I feel like these should actually have props before it. Is that not right? Anyway, we'll come down here, and this should be props.trainer health. So now we can see that the trainer health bar is changing accordingly. The opponent health bar is also changing accordingly. And now the only thing that's missing is the color on this health bar is not working properly because it's being mapped to the opponent health bar color. So I think what I'm going to do here is instead of using a computed property, I'm going to turn this into a function that says, it's called get health bar color, and it's going to basically be this function that takes in the value and just returns the colors based on the value. So then what we can do is grab that, and we're going to execute that on the health bar values. And then we can do the same thing. Let's copy that and paste it right there with the trainer health bar value. So there we go. Trainer health bar is green. Opponent health bar is red. We make the opponent health bar go up. It goes up to green. If we get it down below 50%, it's yellow. Same with the opponent or the trainer. Working beautifully. And then we can go back to having a text input that's like, oh no, you can type in whatever you want right there. Pretty sweet. All right, let me finish up this status bar, and then I may actually call this stream a little bit early today. Yeah, we might go just an hour and a half. But let's see. Let's see how much I can get done here. I want to get this same no border stuff here, and I want to get the little arrow down there. So let's go down here. Very similar to this. Okay, health bar opponent, health bar. All of this stuff works fine. I think the only thing I need to change is this. Oops. This little status thing. I actually want to copy a lot of this for both of these, opponent and trainer. So we're going to say that for just the status bar, the content, the absolute position, we're not going to go right. Bottom will be the same across both of them. Transform will be different. Width and height will be the same. Border style will be the same. Border color will be the same. Border width will be different. So with those things shared, we can actually remove that from the opponent. Right? We don't need bottom. We don't need the width, the side, the do, or that. That means only the styles that are unique to the opponent goes here. And then only the styles unique to the trainer goes here. And this is going to be position left 0, transform, translate, x negative 100%. And I believe we just need to, let's see. Let's see if I can get this right without looking. Oh, you got to take off at 3 today anyway? Okay, cool. Well, let's call it that. So if I can do this without looking, right now, the way this works is it's building a triangle that looks like this. Ha! I did it. And what I want is to change it to a triangle that looks like this, right? So instead of, what is it? A scalene triangle or a right triangle, a right scalene triangle that's like to the left instead of to the right. Anyway, these border widths correspond to top right, bottom left. So with the geometry for the win, that's right. So with this being the top, and that's like half a rem, top, and then the top right being 0, bottom being 0. This doesn't make any sense, but I'm gonna say my best guess is this is 0.5, 1, and then 0. I couldn't explain why. Okay, let's see. So far, I don't see it. I also need to change this time of day to day so that we can actually see these little arrow things. So if you weren't aware, I'm talking about this little black arrow that points over there. I want another one here that points over this way. So where is it? We've got this status trainer. They should have a little after. We do have a little after, but I got it totally wrong. Oh, shoot. I know what happened. These wait, these actually do matter. So, or they are specific to each one. So they're all transparent. I want the current color maybe to be top right, bottom left. So maybe this one needs to go here. So it's not oh man, I almost got it. So I've got, it's not right. It's pretty terrible, actually. But we're getting there. And instead of, yeah, sorry, Phil, I know you like math, but geometry for me wasn't a thing. So CSS, triangle generator, one more time. Let's see if I can just like look at this and figure it out. We want a scaling triangle that's this way oriented and has a width of, I guess, a height of 100. Oh, scaling, width of 200, something like that. So it should go border width is 0, 0, short, tall, and then top right, and then the bottom border is the one that we want colored. So we got this one wrong, and it's 0, 0, short, tall. I was never going to get that. That's okay. Cool, but it's in the right spot now. And now I think it just needs to be, you know what? I don't love that it's at the bottom actually, because it kind of like doesn't show up right. So if we look up, let's see, Pokemon Battle Game Boy, something like that. I want to see if they actually kind of put it in different spots. No, they do have it at the bottom. They have it at the bottom, but you're like a little bit off. Yeah. All right, we'll keep it at the bottom. We'll keep it at the bottom. Maybe if I like move this, if I move these status things, like if this was bottom 1 and right 1, or maybe like 2. I think that looks good. I like that. That's what we're going with. Okay, so the status bars. Status bars, status bars. Okay. Where are the status bars? Okay, dialogue and this needs to be bottom, like, what was it, 0.125 rem. Same with you. 125 rem. And then my other opponent status bar needs to be top 0.125 rem and left 0.125 rem. Okay, let's see how we are. We're looking good. Looking good. I like it. I like it. Okay. Last thing is this border widths. So this easy enough. This border status opponent. We need status trainer. Which I think, yeah, we're going to bring that up here. Status trainer, opponent, status trainer. Let's see, status dash trainer has a border width of top 0, right. Let's see, this is top, right, bottom, left. So we want top, left, bottom, right. Another good way to remember that is trouble. TRBL. All right, that is our UI. I think we're done. I mean, like, we're clearly not done. This looks like butt. But functionally, I think we're done. We have some presets that we can say we want this to be an extra small screen. It's pretty responsive as it changes. Like, I think one thing that might be cool is as we change screen sizes here, maybe like these things actually scale up or down, right? That might be cool. And then if we, let's see, what did we fix today? We fixed all the locations should now work with all, cave doesn't work. Cave kind of only works with at night. So let's fix cave. I think cave, does cave have, cave only has one floor type at night or ever. So let's go to mid-ground cave. There we go, mid-ground cave night. Copy and paste that twice, and that's just going to be mid-ground cave day and mid-ground cave afternoon. I really don't love this pattern. It feels like, I feel like maybe I should have just, I don't know. This seems like the safe way, but also like a ton of images that are repeated. I don't know. We'll see. That should be it for what we need to get the cave to work. Let's go back to the cave. Now we have our night that works, our afternoon that works, and our day that works. And afternoon and day are the same because, after all, you're in a cave. It only changes at night. Cool. All of the locations and all of the platforms now are in the right, in the right place. Happy about that. The other things that we did today was make sure that as we change things, we can reload and we keep the same settings, at least for the location and the time of day. The other things that we did today was we modified the trainer UI so that we can have, well, we added the status bar, which means we can say Austin is in the battle. Austin ain't doing so hot. Is going to have way low health. And of course, we can say I'm always battling with JavaScript. JavaScript, we'll just call it JS up here. JS isn't perfect though, so JS takes some hits from time to time. I'm going to say right there. That's looking good. And then the other things that we changed was this trainer box type. We can actually change that to text. And it says Austin has passed out. It's super effective. Or maybe we'll say JavaScript is super effective. Austin passes out. Yeah, that's not bad. If we generate that, let's see. Well, I feel like I have like a little bit of overlap here. Let's see. No, I guess not. Just some, okay. Just some weird artifacts. Okay. So if I were to generate that banner and save it, and then you're not going to be able to watch this part, but I'm going to go over to my Twitter profile and edit my profile with this banner. Boop. And hit apply and then save. Cool. We can go to my Twitter and we can see me in a battle with JavaScript. That's too cool. All right, well, I think we're going to kick it over to questions because I don't have the next round. Like, I think the next round of stuff might be more than I'm ready to get into today. I think what we may want to do is start dealing with maybe some responsive design, make it a little bit more user-friendly. Like, it's really not a great experience. Actually, that might be something we can do really quick. Let me see. Utensils. What do I want? I want the toggle maybe. Toggle, tabs. Might try the toggle. So let me see. Well, what I'm thinking is it might make sense to take the scene and collapse it, and take the opponent and collapse it, and take the trainer and collapse those things, so that at any given time you're kind of just looking at one at a time. I might try that with. Let's see. Let's hit that really quick. We also need to do some refactoring on this at some point. So we've got. First thing is going to be v tabs. And in my form, I'm going to have these tabs. I forget how the tabs work, actually. So let's see. Hey, that's weird. That should be an SVG. I'm getting distracted. All right, so let's look at these tabs. And the example, here we go. This is kind of what I want to copy. So I should be able to do something like this. Do that. And let's say that this is going to be number 2. So now we can see, oh, well, I guess because I haven't actually changed this content. Let's hit that. So we've got 2 different things. As I go between tabs, oh yeah, that's going to, oh yeah, that's great. That's what I want. So let's say tab 1 is going to be scene. I mean, I could just call it tab 1. But we're going to say this is the scene. And the contents for the scene is this field set. And it goes right in there. Let's get this all in the right spot. And then tab 2 is going to be opponent. The panel of the opponent. And this is opponent. And then we're going to copy this field set. See, Kotin, you were asking me the other day what Vue.js is, and the cool thing here is just how easy it makes some of these common UI patterns just available for me. Okay, so we need trainer. Nice. And then are you going to do the thing? Do the thing. Oh man, is it actually going to like copy everything for me? No, I don't think it is. Definitely not. Okay, so let's take this field set. And let's cut that out. And then whatever it had here that it tried to figure out for me wasn't going to work. So we'll do that. Need to get the spacing in the right order. Whoa, whoa, whoa. There we go. We need to close that template, I think. Yep, still got the spacing wrong. Okay, and then I think this looks good. What is this? You're getting... You need to get some coffee? All right, I totally broke something. No, I didn't. No, it just needed to reset for some reason. So now we've got the scene, we've got the opponent, we've got the trainer. The opponent, man, this freaking field set thing is busted. And you know what? It's not even the field set. I think it's the file input that's messing things up for me. Yeah, it's totally the file. Huh. Well, that's kind of good to know or figure out. Let's go to the opponent. Let's see if I can actually fix this. Label input max width 100%. Display block. Ooh, that's going to be a tough one to sort out. And that's for another day, I think. Or display inline? No. Yo, robots! Activated lurk for my channel. What is that? Mario develop. Activated lurk. Interesting. Anyway, so we are here. We have a much nicer UI. We can say that we're on the scene. And I think one thing that we can do is actually like style this a little bit differently, because this should have, selected true. So we can base, or aria selected true. So we can style it based on which one is aria selected, whereas this one should not be like aria selected false. Okay. So then we can go, oh, that's interesting. That is a bug. Okay. Anyway, we get a much nicer UI where we can switch between the scene, the opponent, and the trainer settings and just change things as we see fit without having to like do a whole lot of scrolling up and down. So now I've got my scene set up. I've got my opponent set up. We're going to be fighting this one. The sound effects are still amazing. And we're going to say that the health bar, yeah, sure, it can be. Huh, what have I got going on? Okay, weird. The health bar, we do a little bit of damage, and then we'll go to the trainer and say that I want this to be status, text, status, text, status. Name is Austin. Health bar is going to be somewhere like that. And I think I'm going to change my opponent once again to JavaScript. And we're going to change that to JavaScript. And I'm going, you know what? I'm feeling pretty confident today. I'm going to put JavaScript down, way down here. And I'm going to put myself a little bit higher. So that's what we've got for today. I'm going to generate this banner, and I'm going to update my Twitter banner one more time. You're a pro lurker. Yeah, you totally are. Have you been out on the stream today or no? Let's see. Let's edit. I'm going to put that in there, hit apply. And then, man, the coolest thing about building your own little projects is actually when you get to use them. That's so cool. All right. In and out. Vite.js GG. I have no idea what sort of crazy internet lingo you're trying to tell me, Brent. But anyway, I think I'm going to end it on this today because let's see, close that. Because I feel good. I feel like we reached a good stopping point, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to continue. But there's a couple bugs that I found in Vutensils, which I'm pretty happy to have found at least. And I will have to fix those as well. Let's see. So the tab index of 0. Yeah, which makes sense. So then, nice thing is we can move around. Yeah, cool. In and out, good game. Yes, thank you. This is coming along. I think I'm pretty happy with it. There's a couple of key decisions that we're gonna have to make for the progress going forward, but at least functionally speaking, it's working pretty well. So yeah. All right, yeah, that's gonna be it for me today. I'm gonna take off, and you have a wonderful Friday evening. Have a wonderful weekend. I should be back on Monday at 1:30 p.m. Pacific Standard. So if you enjoyed the show today, yeah, share it. I'm trying to get more people involved in this, so really appreciate spreading the word. All right, have a good one. I will catch you next time, and let's see if there is anyone that I would like to raid today. Oh, dang, Melody's got a lot of people on today. Yeah, let's go say what's up. Let's see. Hello, D Dev. And until then, let me start closing all this stuff down. Oh yeah, we also got into the Vue reactivity stuff for the URL, so that was fun. All right, raid's going on. Thanks for hanging out. I will catch you next time. Yo.